Cool. Hey, this works. Yay. Anyways, so I have not streamed in a while and I need to fix that. So we're doing another stream science. I have moved it over to my Twitch channel because starting new Twitch channels suck. And the stream science one was not gaining traction. And I'm pretty sure that more people would associate this type of content better with myself than with some standalone stream. So it just makes sense to kind of move the stream sign stuff here. It's still going to be on YouTube because why would I only tie myself to one platform? But anyways, as you can see, this is a new mic. It sounds kind of good. I can actually hear myself through the earbuds. I was going to use these fancy headphones, but they're actually a sports broadcast headset, and the kind of boom, like, they sound nice, but this stupid boom arm doesn't look all that great. So I need to get myself some nice closed headphones for this purpose. I do have some nice open ones, but I'm afraid that the microphone will pick up the sound. So that's why I'm not using those yet. But anyways, so yeah, kind of a bit of a new setup. Got the both lights set up here. There's a reasonable amount of daylight right now going on. And I was smart and used the tripod to put a blanket behind me so I don't have to clean my room. Pretty smart idea, I think. But anyways, last time I showed off this microphone was forever ago. So let's do a refresher. Oops. Fancy wooden box. For fancy microphone, the Lawton LA120 small diaphragm condenser. So normally when people pick mics for streaming and stuff like that, they go for condensers because they're generally a lot louder, require less gain, and they can sound pretty good because there's power going through it instead of relying strictly on the kind of forces of sound going through the microphone capsule. There's power behind it, so it sounds a little bit different. Most of the time, people do not pick these style of microphones for vocals. The reason being, because of the smaller capsule size, they're very accurate. So oftentimes you'll see these on instruments, drums, guitars, pianos. That's not to say that they aren't used for vocals. Oftentimes, though, people get large diaphragm condensers because they just sound better. They're less accurate and more pleasing for voice. But I got these because NASA was going to happen, and I had a brilliant plan, having these kind of like on the table to pick up the voices, kind of like a choir style, which is what oftentimes things like this are used. You put two kind of like in an X, like that, or like that, you know, to create a field to capture a whole choir. And this one actually has the Omni capsule on, you can tell because can't see it. There you go, the circle. The cardioid, which is what I'm using right now actually, is directional, so it only picks up the front. So like you can hear me here, but you kind of can't hear me here, and behind you could barely hear me at all, and the sound gets a little bit better, and now it's perfect. So that's what cardioid does. Yeah, and I've been using this actually for the No Major Opinions podcast. It sounds pretty good. Lurk has been doing a good job editing my vocals there. The one thing that I have to be very kind of particular of is how I use this microphone. It's very kind of plosive. So if I go Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, without this actually pop filter that I squished in between the foamy and the microphone, it was really bad. Now it's a lot better, but now that I also have it on a little bit of a slight angle, you get the proximity effect, which kind of raises the bassiness of my voice, gives it that radio effect. Plus, now you don't really have plosives when I go Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers. So, this isn't the raw audio sound though to my microphone, because I've been trying to fix that. So, I can actually, fun fact, if you want an easy time with a bunch of microphones, if you own a bunch of microphones, just create a scene in OBS called mics. That way you can flick them on and off or have different filter sets, and it'll just be in every single scene. Fun fact. Let's move to here and move to my whiteboard scene. Cool. So this is a lot of shit. What does every single thing do? Well, let's turn off all of this and you'll figure out. So right off the bat, there's a lot of hum. I replaced the fans on my computer because they used to be a lot worse. This is an RX7 voice denoise. This is a paid plugin, but I got it for super cheap because it was on sale online. It looks like that goes online at least or on sale once a year. It's a very good plugin. It's not NVIDIA RTX or anything like that. Oftentimes it's used to recover audio if there's just like a little bit of noise or stuff like that. You can actually see this suite of plugins in use when people are restoring old movies, like the original Star Wars. You can see that they have the whole audio track and they have parts of silence, and they train this plugin on it, and it kind of just cleans it up without changing all the audio, which is why I enjoy it. It doesn't really color the audio or anything. It just gets rid of the fan sounds. So if I turn that on, it's clear. There we go. Gets rid of the sound. This is the compressor here. So you might not really hear what it's doing, but I can show what it's doing. So a compressor essentially just takes the audio and it kicks it down when it reaches a certain level. In my case, I've set it to minus 28 decibels here. I've set it to 4 because I prefer a little bit more compression, but there's some people who only do 2 and stuff like that. The higher number this is, the quieter your microphone will kind of get kicked down, because for every decibel that goes above your threshold here, it gets kicked down by this amount. And you can see that it's working when this red bar happens. So I used to kind of squish my voice a lot. Now I don't do it. I just kind of level it out a little bit more, because I can't really have my microphone super loud because I'm not in a studio. So I prefer just to kind of keep it like that. But it does actually make the volume quieter because it's kicking down the top parts. So we need to account for that. But before we do that, we also have a limiter here. And a limiter is just a brick wall compressor. It has a ratio of infinite, essentially, or a very, very high number. So when if my microphone ever gets to minus 10 dB, it will make it so it doesn't exceed minus 10 dB. And this trick I actually got from Podcastage. I think I retweeted it forever ago. So if I talk like this and I get really loud, you can see that the compressor already kind of kicked in at minus 28. But if I get really loud, I clipped right there. It's terrible. But now if I have both of them on, and if I get really loud, that's just how it is. So that's what it stops. It can distort the voice, obviously, when it gets super loud, but the actual volume level itself will not get any louder. I'm also super close to this mic, so that's why. And I don't talk very loud. If I had louder headphones or something, I would probably talk a lot louder, but I just don't talk very loud, so that's why it's kind of set like that. This is super cool. This is a plugin called Lisp. It's based off some research AI bullshit. But what it does is it gets rid of a lot of S's. So it's sounds. So when I have it off and I start going, Sally sells seashells by the seashore, the S sounds are kind of super harsh. So if I turn it on and I go, Sally sells seashells by the seashore, it's now a lot better. And you can actually have it open. I have it set to 10. and automatic because I don't know what the hell it does. But if I set it to listen mode, so see, when I was saying words, you would only hear that sounds that it quiets down so they're not super harsh. So if I start saying the tongue twister, Sally Sells, you can hear that all those sounds, it just kind of kicks down more. It's basically a compressor, but only for S sounds. And it's very important because a lot of microphones, they, when you start doing things with them, especially after compression, that sound, because it's kind of like a higher frequency, it just seems a lot louder. So this kind of cleans that up, makes it a little more smooth on the ears. I don't even do anything. I literally just set it to -10, automatic. It clearly gets rid. It clearly does something, and you know, stuff sounds better. So this is an EQ. This is kind of to taste, but I took the way of doing this from Curtis Judd, and I'm sure a lot of audio people actually do it, but this is my EQ curve. So we have a high pass at 80. This thing also has a built-in high pass, but and my mixer has a built-in high pass, but I also just did in software just if anything got past that. Basically, there's nothing below 80 hertz in the human voice unless you start going to like rumbly low, but that just kills a bunch of like ambient low droning sounds. And then this is a low pass, meaning that it kind of kills anything above a certain frequency. So I have it set to 1800, as I am told that there's nothing in the human voice really above that. So this kind of sticks to only the human vocal range. And then what I did was I kind of did a little bit of a mid scoop here because I think that sounds best on my voice. So if I turn it on, this is how I sound now, and you can see it's very different. I also have a, where did it go? I also raised the volume of my microphone by 10. So we can actually hear what each of these things do. So that's the high pass gone. Probably won't really hear much of a difference, but that's how it sounds. And this is with the low pass. Why did it change? This should be low pass. Thank you. Oh, that's why, because I have them messed up. Anyways, so this is the low pass here. Get rid of that. I mean, you can see that there's a tiny bit that goes on there, and we just get rid of that. This is the first frequency that I get rid of, and this is the second one. I don't really get rid of it a lot. So basically what I do here, we'll take this one. I kind of bump it up to like 10 while I'm hearing myself. There's not a lot of delay. That's why I can get away with listening to myself even though all of this audio is processed, because I have my mixer set up that it's super low latency. But if I take that and I put it up to, I'm just going to copy paste this frequency so I can paste it back. If I enable it, you can kind of hear that this does not sound good, like at all. So I bring it back to -4 and there we go. And it's the same with this one. If I put it to 10 and I enable it, I sound really wonky. So I just bring that to -4 and there you go. But basically the way that that works is that you want to, I'll do it on this one here. So if I bring this up to 10, you know, kind of sounds weird. And I'll just kind of scoop kind of slowly while I talk. It's a lot easier if you just record yourself saying something, but I do this live because I'm a masochist. And then you can kind of hear that, oh, well, that doesn't sound the greatest. And then you would kind of see what the biggest part of that is. So for me, it was somewhere right here. Got to bring my headphones up a little bit while I was sounding here. And like, yeah, somewhere right here, it doesn't sound right how I sound. That's actually pretty close to what I had before. And then you just bring it down and now magically things sound better. So that's kind of what you do with the EQ. You bring it up so you can hear the parts that sound like crap, so you can bring them quieter, and then you sound better. It's magic. So after we've EQ'd my voice, which also makes it sound kind of a little bit more like me, because microphones can kind of color things, the next part on our list is this. So this is an interesting plugin. Basically, what I have it do here is look for any remaining noise in the microphone signal, and it cancels it out. So when I have it on, you can see that it's just looking, because it scanned this part right here. So yeah, this is with it off. You can kind of hear, if you bring your headphones up, that there's a bit of a droning sound. But as soon as I turn this on, it's gone. It's like an extra layer of noise suppression. Also, I need to bring that back up to 10, so I don't have to have my headphones super loud. After I've done that, I have another layer of noise suppression, which is the RN noise in OBS, because the easiest way to do it is just this. You can hear keyboard clacking. If I turn it on, don't really hear keyboard clacking. It's like some AI-based crazy noise reduction. But anyways, after I've done that, put on a noise gate. And the reason for the noise gate is just, it only picks it up when I talk. In case there is anything else, it doesn't pick it up. And it also kind of gets rid of mouth noises. So whenever, you speak, you might have a lip smacking, a little bit of spittle going in anywhere. That's generally on the quieter side, so it kind of just mitigates that. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy. When I first got this microphone, I couldn't really use it, and now I can because I got the boom arm here. So, that's my mic update. Cool. I'll probably make that a clip just to show how I get my voice to sound kind of cool. The next thing on the list is so, oh no, wait, yes, okay. I've made a Flickr album. Gotta keep this quieter so I don't really hear myself or I trip myself up. Now because of the so many levels of noise suppression, there's like a tiny bit of delay and it slightly trips me up. But anyways, I have a photo album of desktop wallpapers that I've been sharing. I tweeted it out. Oh, cool. That's 12 views. Neat. But, actually, let me go to camcorder views for a second. I have a super nice camera. This is the Pentax K70. This is a beast of a camera. It's a DSLR, not mirrorless. It's not going to do your fancy 4K video. But I don't do that. I don't really do videography. And I don't really want to use a DSLR for events that I have once a year. So I got a camera that can take some beastly photos. This is 24 megapixels, has built-in image stabilization, which a lot of other cameras don't have. You need it in the lens. So this means that I can take old lenses like this. Hold on. Trying to multitask here. This is a Helios 44 2, which is a 58 millimeter Soviet lens. It's known to have kind of like a swirly bokeh, like a swirly background texture to it, which I can actually show in one of the photos. But obviously there's no optical stabilization in this. But because my camera has it built in, I need new lens caps. This one doesn't really fit this one very well. There goes my other lens cap. But anyways, I'll pick that up in a second. You know, I can put it on this camera and it's fully stabilized. So I can take some pretty cool shots with that. This is actually a new lens that I got. I'm gonna pick up the lens cap with my feet. There we go. This is an 18 to 135 made by Pentax. It's weather sealed, has autofocus, super nice, super heavy, made of metal. It's a very nice grippy texture. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. You can see like that texture is super nice. Let me compare it to like the 55 to 300 that I have also by Pentax. As you can see, it's a very different grippy texture. So the kind of comb checkerboard hatch one is a lot better, personally. And then, you know, I got primes like this 50, also a Pentax, Takumar, super sharp. Pretty cool for portraits. And, you know, this 35, as you can see, I keep mispointing where the camera is. It has only the kind of ridges. But if you look at this Takumar, made by some company forever ago, it has that kind of checker. So this is like a marker quality kind of dealio. But I've talked enough about my camera. Let me show you what the actual photos are. So for example, that one was taken with the Helios. That's not even my photo. I just edited it, but a hawk flew into my buddy's yard and I edited it. That's with the 55 to 300, 55 to 300. It's cool because you can actually see if it says 55, that's generally the Helios because the Takumar is 50. You know, lots of flowers because COVID and I'm not hanging out with people. And my backyard's pretty cool. So this is what I was talking about. You can see that it's kind of a circle here, but the closer you get to the edges, it's starting to swirl. Well, yeah, this one was with the 35. And these are all 4K resolution or higher sometimes. That's the 55 to 300. Now, I have a lot of these, and I'm going to be actually uploading some more as I've been editing my photos. So, you know, let me see if I have a new one I can show you guys. Oh. Aha. There we go. So this one's kind of cool. I don't have this lens on me. I mean, I could grab it all the way over there, but I'm lazy. This is like a, what is it? An 80 to 200. It was like 30 bucks. It's not the best lens. As you can see, it's not very high contrast and stuff, but it makes really cool old looking photos. I like the lo-fi look. Another one that's super lo-fi is, I can just skip through here. Come on. Or not, whatever. This one. There we go. That's another super lo-fi one. It looked like crap originally, not gonna lie. And with the power of editing, I made it look as if it was just an old photo. The cars kind of take it away. You can see, well, modern cars exist, but it looks old, so that's cool. Another one with that lens is this one. As you can see, this one, I could totally say that, oh yeah, this was taken in like the 70s, you know, and people would believe it. Beyond maybe the fact they'll be like, I don't know if that was there. But it's just kind of an older looking photo. That's what I like about that lens. And then, you know, sometimes I get super sharp stuff like that one. You know, this is super sharp, super vibrant. So, you know, they're all Creative Commons. Like this one's just when I was in DC. They're all Creative Commons, so you just have to attribute it to me. And you can do whatever the fuck you want with them. I don't care. They're just cool photos that I literally have as my wallpaper on my 4K monitor. So I was like, well, other people can have them too. So that's my second update. Let's do this. Done. I have like splits going or something. So guess we can kind of get to the meat and potatoes here. And that is talking about event failures. So had quite a few of them. And, you know, they happened for really stupid reasons. So let's go over NASAxDreamhack. That one was, man, that was rough. So basically, after the first NASA 2016, we got an email from Dreamhack Montreal. And they were like, hey, you want to do a speedrunning event? And we're like, yeah, that'd be cool. So we did it. There was some behind the scenes thing, and we ended up partnering with No Reset. That's why it was Dreamhack, NASA, No Reset, whatever it was. The problem with collaborating with people is when you can't find a common ground. And it doesn't help when people are like, oh, we'll do everything. And then the last minute they're like, oh no, this thing that we were relying on, yeah, not happening. And yeah, you guys need to figure it all out, which was really shitty. Essentially, we were supposed to have a turnkey solution. I'm going to mute myself. I can't handle it. My audio should be fine. If it's not fine, somebody can hopefully tell me. So we were supposed to have a turnkey solution, and that did not end up happening. So I don't know if anybody remembers when I talked about NASA 2016. Compared to what NASA is today, it's a train wreck. Personally, there was a hodgepodge of different equipment. There was really no plan set out. It was just, hey, that gets shit on stream. So I wasn't going to have that happen if we were doing something like Dreamhack. So when I remember this distinctly, me and those crazy guys were at GDQ. And then we got a message where it's like, yeah, turnkey solution is a bust. You guys will be in charge of all of tech. So, you know, kind of soured the mood during what was supposed to be a really fun time, because now I'm in panic mode. Like, well, shit. What the hell am I supposed to do? Just full screen this because I'm not typing anything right now. So I started to video engineer a solution. We were going to get some capture cards, so that was fine. I picked some out, and Dreamhack supplied. Dreamhack also supplied some microphones, which is great. I kind of wish that I bought some of those because they weren't the best lav microphones. I'm gonna be honest. They were like some Pile Pro AA battery powered stuff, but they went to the 1/4 inch of a mixer, so they did what they had to do. And it would have been cool to have a couple of those adapters around. Now there's a lot fancier products available, like Rode makes one, Deity makes one, where you can just, like, for example, take a gaming headset and hook it up into a mixer, which was what I originally was thinking of doing because I didn't really know what the kind of sports broadcaster headsets to grab were. So DreamHack provided all that. DreamHack was phenomenal. They were always asking like, well, what do you need? Okay, we can get it. This and that. They got us a projector set up. Like they had a crew set that up for us, and they got us Alienware computers to stream off of. Kind of sucked because there was you couldn't tear them apart or anything for some internal capture cards. So I couldn't use like the data path that I think I had at the time, one of them, just a single capture. But, we got USB Elgato cards, which I have PTSD with to this day. But DreamHack was phenomenal. It was more kind of the soured mood where it's like, you're planning with people and all of a sudden the deal bust, here you go, like very short before game time. So I spent some money on an Extron Crosspoint, which I literally have, over there. It controls on my consoles while it's hooked up here. And when I bring it to NASA, it controls all the stuff there. So let me pull up a picture actually of an Extron Crosspoint. Yeah, that's a small image. Do we have anything bigger, fam? Why do people have such tiny photos? I don't understand. But you can see what it is. It has a BNC back where you can hook up all your stuff. This actually takes component and RGB. If you had like SCART cables, you would flip the SCART head into BNC. This one doesn't have audio. The one I have does have audio. You see through these Phoenix adapters. Mine's actually bigger because it has 12, and this, even though it has 12 buttons, only has 8 inputs, which I don't know why they do that. It's really stupid. But anyways, so I was soldering adapters for audio the night before, and even in my hotel room the first night when I got there. The event was already live, and I was still soldering up audio connectors because we were going to have a race, and we needed more audio connectors than what I was able to make because I got this last second. So basically, like 2 or 3 days before the event, I got it. I picked it up with those crazy guys because we had to cross the border at the time, because shipping to an American mailbox is significantly cheaper than shipping it to your Canadian address. And, I fiddled around with it. I figured out how to use it on a basic level. And I also soldered up some S-video adapters. So you would take an S-video and it would break it out into the 2 signals, Luma and Chroma. And then that way we could also have S-video from consoles going in for the ones that didn't have RGB or component. Because I only had like 2 cables at the time. I had like a Nintendo SCART cable, which was kind of, I feel like I threw it out, honestly. And I had a Genesis one, but they're both crappy cables and I don't have them anymore. I am pretty sure. But anyways, so for consoles that didn't have that, we would use the composite or S-video, which is fine. It's not like RGB was mainstream in events. Really, no event but I believe ESA at the time was even doing anything with like RGB. So it was kind of a non-issue. So that was, showed up. I set it up. Nobody knows how to use this but me, so I didn't get any sleep. So that was fucking dreadful, honestly. I had to sleep under tables during the event on a beanbag chair because I couldn't really go to my hotel room. I literally only got to sleep in my hotel room once for the whole weekend, and it was like a 3-night thing, or 2-night, 3-night, whatever. So that was shit. And then it turns out that a lot of the Quebec attendees thought that we stole the event from them because the situation wasn't explained properly on how it even came to be, which was horseshit, honestly. But, no ill will to the people who showed up. They were awesome. They did their runs. They even have some positive things to say about me, which I thought was pretty fucking cool. They were like, you know, shit was hitting the fan, but Dark Aries, he knew his shit. I was like, yes. But you know, the last day I was kind of on like a second wind and I got my groove. But overall, that event was like fucking nightmare. And I don't even care that I'm swearing. It's my stream. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Um, you know, the Elgato cards, they give me PTSD because they were the first ones. They were... Yes, these old freaking bricks. HDMI in, AV in, and out. So these are USB 2. They have latency. They have really crappy Elgato software that doesn't allow for you to have more than one card on a computer at a time. So Dreamhack got us 3 of these because I'm like, oh, we're going to need 3 of them because we have a 3-way race. No, you can only use one of them. So that instantly screwed us. It's a good thing I brought my Dazzle and a good thing that I brought my AverMedia Live Gear Portable because that was the only way we could have ever done that race. Because this one, you could plug in as many as you wanted and only one of them would work. So that was fantastic. The third one wasn't even opened up out of the cellophane, the saran wrap. The second one obviously was because we tried to use both of them. But I looked it up. This is the problem for streaming stuff back in the day. You know, one person will get it and they're like, oh, it's great. That person does not know any better and doesn't really understand the limitations or what they need a capture card to really do. And the worst part was when I'm looking at like OBS forums and Elgato supports and stuff like that, they're like, oh yeah, the newer S model, yeah, that can do it. Which I think is actually this thing right there. Yeah, that can do like more than one card on a computer, but that one, no. Will it happen in a software update? Well, probably not. So that was time wasted down the drain. And it's one of those things that, you know, you look it up and everything seems to be fine. And then finally, when you're at the event and you start going hard into looking up, why isn't this working? Finally, Google is like, oh, I'll show you this web page that I didn't show you before because now you really want it. So that was frustrating, but we got through it. Luckily, the 3-0 race was like a finale deal. But we also went insanely behind schedule because, again, nobody really knew what was going on. We rented a mixer from Long and McQuaid, which is a music rental company here in Canada. It's a chain. And I'm like the only person who knows how to use a mixer beyond my sibling. So that was, you know, absolute trash. Yo, Anasper, what up, fam? Good to see you. So to recap, Aries is the only one who knows how to use the Extron crosspoint. Aries is also the only person who knows how to use a mixer, essentially, beyond one other person. Aries also sets everything up because he's the only one who knows how to use it, and we don't have enough space to just have all of our consoles hooked up, and everything has to constantly be hot swapped, and you have to constantly switch between cables, which means switching through inputs. And at one point, the cable broke because things were going through my DVDO iScan scaler to kind of scale it up, because why would you want the raw capture when you have HDMI in and you can do that? Because the capture card is latency anyway, so what the fuck does it matter if you add another couple frames of latency? So I got no sleep. It was awful. Let's recap this. Okay. That's NASA DreamHack in a nutshell for me. We actually have a VOD of the behind the scenes. Let me pull it up. It doesn't really go over the negative aspects of it, but NASA DreamHack. No, of course that wouldn't pop up because search engine optimizations, NASA Marathon DreamHack. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Day 2. What if I do not blog? Aha. Damn. Both shared this in 2017. So yeah, this is a 13-minute video. Where basically I go over the whole kind of setup. Let me make this bigger. So it was like in this huge freaking venue. This was our little corner setup before all the lights were dimmed off. It was rear projection. This was a stupid idea. Oh my god, I need to write that down in the notepad. Also, I wasn't showing the feed. Okay, so let's recap this, okay? You know, big area, you go up these stairs, and this was our setup. This was like HD consoles were here, classic consoles were here. The AV company that was doing all the AV stuff for Dreamhack, they set us up a rear projection screen. This was the worst idea in the world. The plan was that, you know, the runner would have a couch here. Obviously, it moves side to side depending on what's going on, or maybe they had some chairs here. I don't even freaking remember, honestly, because I have no sleep. And the crowd would be behind here. If you don't instantly see a problem with this, you were probably like me. The problem was the cool shit is happening right here. And you can only see it in a little feed in the corner right here because the game's right here. And there's no interaction with the people there and the people here. So for the people, like, you know, watching the feed, they're like, well, where is everybody? You're a fucking Dreamhack. There's tons of people there. Well, no, it's all hidden behind this frickin' fabric and screen. It was really stupid. I would never agree to do this, to do that again. Let's continue through this VOD as this jogs my memory. Let's see. So yeah, this was the seating area. So as you can see, lots of seating. Barely anybody watched from the seats, which you can tell. You can't see what's going on there. Wow, this gets me frustrated watching this. And it's not really anybody to blame. You don't want a projector where people can bump it. And that is a good point. You don't want that to happen. This should have been flipped around completely. I actually have a diagram here that I want to draw up. So right now, no, this is the game area. Where's the line? This is the screen. Okay. No, go away. Jeez. And this is where people sit. Okay. This is not how I would do it. What I would do to move the screen here, to have tech here with a little projector right there, covering the same distance, and this would just be a lot closer. So anything that happens in tech here, tech's not going to bump into here because there's only 2 or 3 people, and we're not idiots. At least I would really hope that we're not idiots. So this would have been a lot better. That couch, which we can put right here, eventually, maybe, would be like there, and now all of a sudden there's a group here and things are looking cool because you're like, oh, I can see the people play and I can see them on the big screen there. This is what you learn when you actually work in Pro AV. At the time I was green. I didn't know shit. So that's how I would do things now. Let's continue on with this VOD. I'm very excited to, as this jogs my memory. Rear projection was a terrible idea. Let's continue skipping through here. So this is, as you can see, it's empty. Hold on. This is where like Smash was. Big crowds. Really freaking loud. Like, holy crap. We had the lapel mics. Let me go full screen for a second. This is the lapel mic, right? Yeah. The microphone capsule is about this big. It's tiny in comparison. This is like... It's as big as my earbuds, man, basically. But anyways, and I didn't really know proper lav technique at the time too, so I'm sure that a lot of lavs were like down at the freaking belly button when people were sitting. For point of reference, like, you kind of stretch out your fingers here, and that's the optimal kind of distance. You do a surfer thing, and that's the optimal distance. So I try to kind of do here with my microphone. It doesn't work, obviously it's not that short, and I kind of get in close for the proximity effect here, because if I'm farther away back, boy, just I kind of like the radio voice, but the proper obviously you're not gonna go up to people and go like, can you do this with your hands, dude? So sternum right here. So if I was to lav myself, if this was NASAxDreamhack, right there on the sternum, that is, oh look, it's the optimal placement. Obviously, there's different microphone patterns as we went before. This one's actually a hypercardioid, and you can tell because of the icon that's there. Well, can I eventually show this? Internet? Yeah, see, it has like the little butt behind it. So it's like this microphone where if you go to the sides, it doesn't really sound good. But, here it's kind of like there. And on the supercardioid, it's like here or hypercardioid. So it's just a lot more focused, which you really don't want in a lav, honestly. You probably want to use a regular cardioid on a lav, because if people go like this or they turn their heads, you kind of want a little more play when they do that, or they're just going to get super quiet. It's going to sound like shit. But anyways, I didn't know that at the time, just use lavs. It's what people were using, and it seemed to work fine. And now nobody uses lavs because people don't really like lavs, and they like sports headsets. And, it's something that I would like to change, because I am not a fan of every single person at an event wearing a sports headset, because that's really dumb. But anyways, let's continue. This was super loud. It was a huge complaint during the stream that we can, like, what is with all the screaming and stuff? It's because of a Smash. Smash fans are freaking loud. Gas stations, stuff like that. Is that out of order? Probably. I don't even know how to. Oh, there's all the Dreamhack. It's like, see, the Dreamhack was. I'm not even freaking showing this. Anyways, let's skip back a bit. Smash is loud, okay? They're super loud. Back to this. Dreamhack provided some equipment. There was no light. Oh my god, this is like still bright. And during the actual event, it just got so dark. Oh, this is my bin of shit. I just literally packed every single cable that I had. And I hoped that I wouldn't forget anything. Oh, sick. That was the mixer. Hold on. Let me show that again. Where'd it go? No. Oh, DVD recorder. Great. Still have mine. It's freaking awesome. I want the mixer. This is what happens when you skip through. Anyways, it was just like a basic 14 channel mixer that we rented for like 20 bucks for the weekend. Best idea of all life. That's why we did it again for the next NASA, and it worked really well because we learned from our mistakes. Rat's nests everywhere because I didn't have time to clean shit. I was just like, I need working. Here it is. See? Projector. Like, that is probably about 10, 13 feet. Look at all this dead space here. This would have been better off being on the wall, the projector, and then the tech. Again. And of course, because there's so many projectors, the easy solution is just to cut all the lights. Who needs lights? Hotel room was super nice. Ship broke. I fixed it. My internet's working like shit. And then we kind of just packed up and went home. Huzzah. That was Dreamhack. In a nutshell. So how do we fix this? Because this is easily fixable. If we did NASAxDreamhack again, this is how it would fix this. Equipment last second. Let's do a line here. No longer a problem. Why is it no longer a problem? Because I bought more shit? Because NASA 2017 was going to happen. It's no longer a problem. Plus, now I know more about renting equipment from places, you know? This is no longer a problem. And the thing is, like, we weren't even dreaming of using a projector and stuff. NASA 2017, we didn't even have a screen for people. If anybody remembers, you had to rely on just looking at the runner screen, but the event was small enough that you didn't even really need it. Aries only knows how to do everything. Teach people. So this was fixed for NASA 2017 because in between the events, I was actively explaining how to do things. And come time setup day, I would go over and those crazy guys in Lurk, for example, would be there with me. And I'm like, okay, so this is how you do stuff. You go like this and you go like that. And you go like this and you go like that. You swing your hips side to side, side to side, side to side, right? And we had a whole day to figure it out. Dreamhack was awful because we didn't have that. Because life. Basically, me, Lurk, and Linearu could not get there a day before. And even though shit, like those crazy guys was there a day before us, he brought some equipment. Dreamhack didn't even have their own equipment there. So it was kind of a bust of a setup day. Aries gets no sleep. Fixed by previous issue. More people know how to do stuff. You know, I can get more sleep. Easy peasy. Was a bad time. I got nothing for this. If, you know, if the rest of the, you know, make of it what you were. And to be fair, the event itself was fine. There was a lot of really cool runs that happened there. Met some really cool people. You know, the Canadian speedrunning community is full of awesome runners. And, you know, eventually it'll be cool to meet all of them again in some in-person event. But I had personally not a great time, mainly because I didn't get to enjoy the event. I was freaking out. Okay, I got a next run. 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 Rear projection was a terrible idea. This is fixed. But front projection. And better layouts. So, I probably have a picture of how NASA was set up. Let me go through my shit. NASA 2019. I refuse to believe I don't have a single photo. No, that was a funny photo, but that's not it. Where is a freaking photo showing? Aha. This will work. As you can see, the big screen is back there. And the runner TVs are in front of it. So if I actually go over to my diagram here, let's erase all of this. So the way NASA worked was we had NASA 2019 was we had a big room, okay? We had 2 screens. Don't do that. Oh. What is this doing? I don't use draw IO all that much, so I apologize. No, stop. Anyways, I'm just going to draw another box. So we have a screen here. We have another screen here. And this is where tech was. Okay. And then we had our projectors kind of on little round tables. Okay. It was kind of like there. It was kind of there. And then we had crowd. We had an area here. We had an area there. We had an area there. And then, you know, we had a runner area kind of here with the table for the mics and stuff, and I'll color that blue. So that was our layout. And this is infinitely better than what we had set up there. Mainly because people can walk around freely. Most people aren't idiots, and literally this area here was completely devoid of everything. So people don't want to walk in front of the projector because they'll get rid of the image. If they walk behind it, there's no wires behind it because I ran everything only to the table and then up. There's nothing to worry about walking through this area here. Technically, there's side area here, but, you know, I'm just lazy. So that's fine. And the seating area is all back here. So if you don't want to be in the middle where the cameras are and stuff, you're free to do whatever you want here. Same for over here. If you want to be on the cameras, you sit in the middle and then you can see the TVs and the monitors there, and you can look to your left and you can look to your right. You got big ass screens. So this is infinitely better. And then tech is here. So nobody's going through this section right here except for the people who are at tech. And the people who are at tech are not going to drop over like a projector that's worth thousands of dollars. Just how it is. At least I would hope so. So that worked out a lot better. Let's go back to the whiteboard. Crowd was loud. Better mic knowledge. So one of the things that we do now at NASA is we have podium microphones, surprisingly. And so we have a headset. This is Lyric wearing a headset here. So the runners wear a headset. And then you'll notice here that Bill and George are sharing. This is very skinny and almost invisible. Can I zoom in on it? Lectern podium microphone. And it's amazing because look, there is not that much distance here. It's essentially equivalent as if you were standing at a podium. And a lot of people stand at podiums, and it's perfectly fine. You can hear them perfectly fine. It's amazing, right? So, we have that microphone there. People can easily get up off the couch or get back onto it, and they will be picked up. This is a hypercardioid pattern, but because of the distance, like it basically just picks up whomp and whomp. It'll pick up two people, no problem. The runner has a microphone. Probably work a little bit better on that placement now that I know more. Got a microphone right there. They got their headphones so they can hear what they're doing, and it's easy peasy. And it's a very subtle setup. If the runner is personally, I feel only the runners at this point should have headsets to keep the vibe that we want. Maybe get ear sets for commentators. Maybe do labs are kind of not fun because you have to constantly clip them on and off people. But a mic like this is great, which is why I got this microphone so I can put it on a stand, on a table, same thing. It's a little less invisible, but also sound a lot better because it's a bigger capsule and, all that stuff. But whatever. So, better mic knowledge. And we had speakers there blaring the actual sound out as well throughout the room. People were playing video games. They were playing board games, playing VR. They were doing everything. And it was fine. Low light. It's fixed by just having control of lights. So Dreamhack it was impossible. Unless we had our own lights, there was not going to be any extra light. So today, Aries would have brought a couple of his own lights or asked for some soft lights, like what I do right now. I literally have desk lamps as lights, and I would have just gotten, I should have done a Walmart run and a Home Depot run. Go to Walmart, get 2 desk lamps, go to Home Depot, get the correct bulbs, LED. Oh, and while I was at Walmart, get some cookie paper, parchment paper, put it on top of the lamp with the bulbs that I bought from the Home Depot. Unless Walmart also has the bulbs, because who knows? Walmart has everything. But maybe could potentially just do it all in a Walmart trip. And now you have light that you can shine onto the person, even in a dark light situation. Like, there's not a lot of light. I don't have any of my room lights on. There's a window providing some light, but it's not sunny. It's very cloudy today. So just even having a couple of those desk lamps would have done wonders instead of relying on the glow from the TVs and everything else. So that's what I would have done. Create like little soft boxes. Just bring your own lights or get lights. And actually, in that picture that I had somewhere, you can see that there was a little lamp, I think. No, you probably can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it. But there was a little lamp that I have that's actually on that corner there. And it's lighting up the other side of my face. So yeah, bring your own lights. And this would be bomb. This would be awesome. So that's how, NASA DreamHack went and what I would fix. Overall, I'm happy that I did the event because I learned a lot from it, even though it was shit. Because, that's the only way you're going to learn is if you go through crappy situations where you have to learn on how to fix everything. Kind of, you don't want to do that, obviously, as like your second event. That was really awful. But NASA 2017 improved a lot from it, personally. I mean, I rambled on a lot about that. Probably like half hour's worth. Jeez. I don't know what else there is to say. Been live for about an hour. I'm going over topics. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Probably not. How many questions can you have after you hear, some Polish Canadian dude ramble on about an event for like 40 minutes? What I will do though is I will piece together. I'll split this VOD apart into different things. Just to kind of get my YouTube channel going again, the Stream Science one. So, instead of making people watch a whole hour-long video, they can watch the mic update video. They can watch the attached with the desktop wallpapers. So I'll maybe be like a vlog update. Sorry. And then I'll probably have the NASA DreamHack rant as its own video because it probably deserves to be its own video. But yeah, this was fun. Like explaining stuff and rubber ducking things, how I would do things. I guess this is kind of like the next event because I did NASA 2016 and this was the next NASA event. So next event to kind of go over would be 2017. I'll prepare more for that. Asper says, I'm sure many people would like to know a good budget mic. What kind of lighting for a stream camera? Should they be using the program that removes background without a green screen? All very excellent questions. A good budget mic. I will show you actually if I have a Firefox open. I do have a Firefox open. Of course I do. So let's go to Amazon here for a second. So if I'm not taking USB interfaces into account here, but this is a very budget-friendly microphone. This is the Neat Worker B. As you can see, it's 146 Canadian dollars. It is only XLR, unfortunately, but this is what they consider a medium diaphragm condenser. Podcastage has a review on it. It sounds phenomenal. He compares it to the AT2020, which is kind of like the go-to microphone that a lot of streamers use because, oh my God, it's amazing. No, this one blows it out of the water. What sucks is you need something that does XLR, so you are going to need some sort of interface. But if you're in Canada, just rent some mixer with USB from Long McQuaid. If you can't afford to buy one, maybe buy a used one. What else do we have here? What I also hold up. This is a classic budget microphone. The SM58. I'm just gonna go to full screen here for a second. The SM58. Buy one of these because you are gonna need it at some point. So the difference is this is a dynamic microphone. So you're gonna, so for example, the gain on my mixer here for this condenser microphone is sitting at around 2 o'clock. Okay, if the gain dial is a clock. This is gonna have to be cranked up to basically max because it doesn't have any extra electricity to make the capsule kind of vibrate to reproduce the sounds that are going through it. So you need a lot more, essentially, power from the mixer to make it loud. But this is a workhorse stage mic. This is an industry standard for a reason. Bands, people talking at live performances, anything. The wired microphone that you see on the stand is like 90% going to be this. You know, this is tough. Use it as a hammer. There's so many of them, and this is great. What I actually want to do as well, and I've talked about this with actually Two Worlds a little bit because Two Worlds was like, "Yo, I bought like this condenser microphone and it's awesome." And then like it came to his Grab by the Ghouls run for Horror Thrill Mounts Marathon, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, "Are you like 50 feet away from your microphone? Why does it sound like crap?" And he's like, "Yo, Aries, like I should have talked to you. This microphone sucks. Like it's not good at all." But this is the SM57. What is the difference between these two microphones, you might ask? Not a lot. Take off the pop filter krill mesh thing. I have a 57. You can kind of look at it, and it's very close to, like, the 57 obviously has a little bit of extra protection. It's not the raw capsule coming out. But now you, for all intents and purposes, have an SM57. And if you have an SM57, obviously that's not going to be all the greatest because now you don't have the mesh and you don't have the fabric inside of it to protect from pops and plosives and all that harsh stuff. This is considered an instrument mic while this is considered a vocal microphone. But how do we turn the instrument microphone into a vocal microphone, you might ask? We get this big ass freaking windscreen. And you'll actually notice this because the SM57 is the official microphone of POTUS. The President of the United States uses an SM57. So when a lot of people were shitting on GDQs, myself included because I was an idiot, and they're like, GDQ needs different mics because those are instrument mics, not vocal microphones. The President of the United States has been using an SM57 for years, ever since it's basically been invented. You'll actually notice that when POTUS is outdoors, there's this big ass freaking windsock. And actually, since Trump has been POTUS, there's this big ass freaking windsock because he kind of wants to be a rock star. He doesn't like having the microphone super far away. He wants to be right up in here and be like, "Yeah, I am talking, and I'm talking, I'm saying words." So essentially when you buy an SM57 and you buy this big ass windscreen, like let me see if I can if I find this on Amazon. I want to find a picture of it. I know Amazon has a picture of it, like the reviews. Why does Amazon Canada do this? You go to Amazon.com and like everything's there, including a bunch of pictures. Here we go. Okay. This is what we will say is a ghetto SM7B. You can see that's huge. That is huge. But when you look up, just go back to AV Shop here for a second. Oh, yeah. The Shure MV7. Don't get it. It's like $300. It's expensive. when we look at this thing, I don't know about you, but that windscreen right there, kind of similar. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. Hmm? Hmm? And then, you got people like Julian Heckin Kraus here. Oh, YouTube just hates me today. Julian Kraus SM57. Seriously, DuckDuckGo, I swear to... I move away from Google because, I'm just not a fan of that crap. Hey, look, it's my stream. And he has a whole video about how he turns an SM57 with a little pop filter to sound very close to a regular SM7B. And he goes over it that the capsules inside those two microphones are very closely related. They're not the exact same. There's some tweaking between them, but they're kind of like cousins, essentially. And that's why you can get away with buying the big ass windscreen here put it on a 57, and it will sound really close to SM7B, which is why people call it the ghetto 7B or poor man's 7B. So that's like my current recommendations at the moment. Get this or the 57. If you get the 57, get that big ass pop filter. And if you want a condenser microphone, get the Worker B. You obviously need a USB interface, so I personally recommend kind of like getting a mixer, but regular interfaces also exist. By like Focusrite or whatever. I like my Allen Heath mixer because I don't have to use virtual audio cables because it shows up as two sound cards in Windows, which is pretty sick. Basically, each sound card is a volume knob on here, so I can have Discord go to one and Windows to the other. I can literally control my Discord volume with a volume knob here, which is pretty sick. So, that's kind of... The AV Shop has the SM58 and 57. They're the exact same price. Or don't. Just, give me the actual thing. They're on sale, actually. 10% off, $125. You really can't go wrong. If you're in Canada, you want to try it out, or maybe you're American and Guitar Center. Yeah, Guitar Center probably has them. Something... Apparently they're going for bankruptcy again, apparently. Just rent out. They'll probably cost you like $5 or $10, and you can try out the microphone and see how it sounds. Industry workhorse for a reason. Can sound good with basically anything. So that's like a good mic. I know a lot of people are like, oh, get like the Samson 2QU or the Rode, whatever. And I've listened to reviews of that Samson microphone compared to like the SM or the MV7. This thing, which actually, does it have pictures of it inside? It's supposed to look like trying to find a picture of it with the pop filter taken off. Here we go. So this is what that new Shure USB microphone looks like. That's like $300 Canadian. I don't know. That kind of reminds you of something. Let's kind of flip it for the microphone. Little suspicious. Especially since it doesn't actually sound like an SM7B according to every single review, because that was the first thing that reviewers did, was compare it with an actual SM7B. So yeah, Worker B or the SM57 with the big ass pop filter. If you got a little bit more dosh to spend, a regular 58 works fine. And those foam windsocks are like dirt cheap as well. The USB interface is honestly what's gonna kind of be the kind of more whatever if you don't have an XLR interface. Um, I'm sure Behringer makes something cheap, but you can also just let me switch here. Let me find something. So, for example, Lurk has a Mackie Mix. Actually, I also have a Mackie Mix. Hold on. I have a second mixer now because Linearu got themselves a super fancy SSL audio interface and doesn't need their mixer anymore. And this is really dusty because I haven't cleaned it, but you know, simple mixer like this, Mackie Mix. And it doesn't have USB. It does not. But you know, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 stereo channels that you can hook up your game consoles to or whatever you want to hook them up, and 4 microphone channels, you know, has FX and all that stuff. It's all knobs. This will work great. It has, you know, unbalanced and balanced 1/4-inch outputs, but the important thing is, it has this tape feature right here with the RCAs. You know what you can do with that? You can hook that straight into your computer in the line in port and boom. And these, you know, if you go on Craigslist, Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, I'm sure that you can find some sort of brand mixer that, like, you know, Mackie, Allen and Heath, Soundcraft, I don't know, some reasonable, reputable brand. Put that on the wire rack there right now that I need to eventually put into its place. You know, get some reputable brand mixer. It doesn't even have to be new because you're not looking for the USB. You're just looking for it to have the RCA audio out. You get yourself an aux cable and boom, into your computer. You now have an interface. Pretty neato. Yeah, straight line in from an audio source. So most computers have like what? They have line out for your speakers, line in as a record input, and they have mic in. And the only difference between mic in and line in is the audio balance or the audio level. Line level is 30 decibels louder than mic level. So that's why you kind of can't mix up the two. And honestly, this one doesn't, unfortunately. But there are mixers where little when you have like little mixers like that, they sometimes have a switch to flip flop their output between mic and line level. It depends on the switch. I know that Allen and Heath ones. Let's do actually a small test. Let's go to Kijiji. Okay. Let's do switch it to all of Ontario, the province that I live in, and not have it be the city that I'm from. That's why I've been kind of switching back and forth here. I don't feel like doxing myself. Okay. Let's look up sound mixer. Let's see what we can find on the cheap here. Ontario's kind of populous. Roland's a good brand. That's super expensive. $50 for just like a rack one. What do we got here? Yorkville, that's kind of on the cheaper side. We'll ignore it. Yamaha, that's expensive. Why? They're like a sort by price. Jeez. Aha. What do we got here? Behringer 65. Behringer's kind of like, especially their older stuff, people are not a fan. That's huge. We don't need something that huge. Man, not a lot of people selling mixers today. It is like November, to be fair. That one's big. We don't need big. Maybe eBay would have been a better idea. Yamaha 6-channel preamp. Hey, but that's probably like almost the cost of new, honestly. Doesn't even zoom in on the image. Amazing. Yeah, see, it has your line in and out. So something like this would work. Yeah, pawn shop, stuff like that. How much is a Yamaha mixer new? That's a very good question. Yamaha's a good brand, by the way. If you see like Yamaha stuff, you can grab that no problem. Wow, new. It's only $2.99. Wow, such savings. Oh, wait, sick. Mackie Mix 8 is $109. How much is a Mackie Mix 5? Oh, this is beautiful. This is what you get. This is what you get. Let me just. Oh yeah, I bought this mix resort. So look at this. Mackie Mix 5, $69.99 on Prime, okay? So maybe instead of going for the 57 with a pop filter, you go with a 58 or the B, and you grab yourself this mixer. So look, you got your one mic right there. Plop it in. You got you can hook up a game console into it in either 2, 3, or 4, 5. You have your tape in and out. So your tape out will just go straight to your computer. You got your headphones right there as well. Little volume knobs here. You got a little bit of EQ that you can do to kind of shape your sound. Got up to 30 decibels of gain, and the thing is, you can post process it in OBS. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I added like 10 extra decibels of gain digitally onto this microphone after I compressed it as well. So yeah, this little mixer here, that'll do you awesome. Maybe there's like a used one near you or something. Grab this thing. If you really want to get fancy, because actually this is Lurk's exact setup, you don't have like a line in or something onto your computer, you can just grab. Oh, they're not cheap anymore, which sucks. I forgot about that. They're not cheap anymore. They might be able to find one used on eBay or something. Just scroll up here. These things were ubiquitous at the time, and they were like 20 bucks. I don't know what happened to them. I think Behringer stopped making them. This thing is totally not worth $80, by the way. But, get a little thing like that where it's just, left, right input in over USB as an out as well. So if you wanted to, you could pump your audio out into something else. I don't know. I need to find an alternative for these things because these things were nifty and I never picked one up and I very much regret it. I could probably use one of these. But if you don't have if you're on a laptop and it doesn't have a line in, something like this would work. It's like a simple, sound card type dealio. But yeah, that would be the budget thing. And you can fit in around 200 bucks and it will sound better than like whatever USB microphone you grab at the time. And you have an upgrade path now because if you get more money down the line or, maybe you see a microphone that used somewhere or that you can rent somewhere to try out, you can do that now because you have an XLR interface. Or maybe you want to upgrade the board because the mic's perfectly fine. You can upgrade that and maybe you'll get extra features. Maybe you'll pick up the Allen and Heath board that I have so you don't have to virtual audio cable. There's an upgrade path. It's not that, the mic's done. It's USB. Can't do anything. So that's like my budget kind of microphone. Second part of the question. What kind of lighting for stream camera? Desk lamps, LED bulbs, parchment paper. It's literally what I'm using right now. Pretty good. Pretty good. Lots of light. I should take a picture of my setup, actually, when I'm done this stream to show people. I actually have my desk lamp on a bookshelf speaker that I'm using for my sound. And, yeah, works great. Cheap. Should they be using a program that removes background without a green screen? I mean, they could. As far as I know, the only easy, I don't know of programs that do that, honestly. It's never something I've actually looked into. I know that if you have the, RTX series cards, NVIDIA has this broadcaster thing that will get rid of it for you. But beyond that, I don't actually know of any software that does, Zoom does it, but you're not going to you're not going to window capture Zoom into OBS. So I'm sure there's like some plugin for OBS or some software that will manage to do it. I've just never looked into it. I prefer to put up a blanket behind me so you don't have to see how dirty my couch and rest of my room is. But yeah, that's good questions. I appreciate them. Is there any other questions? Also, see, this is why I switched back to like using my Dark Aries Night channel. Nobody knows when the Stream Science channel is on, at least with my personal Twitch. It has some sort of following. A lot of people just like followed it whenever I go, and they're like, "Oh shit, Aries is streaming." So this confirms that it was a good decision. Let's go back to full screen here. Another thing of switching back to this Twitch channel is that I want to start streaming more like video games or me fixing stuff because I'm trying, or maybe even photo editing. Just I want to do more stuff. If I stream it to an audience, I'm kind of forced to work on things. So okay, honestly, I kind of want a tea. I've been live for an hour and a half. Crap, I've been talking a lot for an hour and a half. So I think that's gonna be it for today. Yes, streaming tech repairs wouldn't be bad. I have to actually get rid of a Sega Saturn to somebody, but I have a PS3 I need to do a disk drive replacement on, a Wii that I have to do a disk drive replacement on, SNES flash cart that I need to look into why it doesn't work, and a lot of other things. PS2 that I need to figure out why it doesn't read discs and get a mod chip working on it. My own PS2s as well don't read discs anymore, so there's a lot of interesting content. I think I need another camera. I do have like the GoPro, but I need like a good mount for it. I want to mount it to my TV because I want to fuck up my TV. I already had to buy a new TV, which I was not a fan of. I mean, this TV is freaking beautiful. It's 4K. My old TV was only like 1080p, and this is 43 inches, and my old TV was 40 inches, but brought it over to Launchpad and I cracked it. You know, I had to e-cycle that TV. I was very sad because I didn't feel like dropping almost $400 for a TV, but worked out for the better. Video photo editing and everything is a lot nicer. Now that it's 43 inches of 4K just in front of me, I actually use Windows to split it into four um, virtual monitors. So it's like as if I had like 21 and a half screens. So if I need to full screen something to use the full 43 inches, I do, but otherwise it's segmented and keep a lot of windows open. It's cool. I mean, realistically, I have a window above me. So what I'm thinking is I need some sort of like clamp or like a boom arm. Maybe like one from a desk lamp, but I need to have like a big sandbag on it so that way it doesn't tip over. And that way I could have it hanging and then I could just have it straight onto my desks. And that way when I work on things, you know, do that. Because I really don't have a lot of space here. Um, like I said, I'll take a picture. I'll clean up this desk a little bit, but I'll take a picture of my setup. And there's not a lot of space here. I used to have like a little table to my side here to work on stuff, but it's kind of out of the way right now, and I need to do some major organizational things in my room that I've been putting off. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I actually need tea. I'm starting to feel like my throat be like, fam, you need to hydrate. So I'm gonna go hydrate. Thank you guys all for watching. Again, the full thing will be on YouTube, but I'm gonna split it up into little chunks to make it easier to view and kind of pick and choose what you want to watch. Thanks for showing up. If I stream a game, obviously I'll be live. But for now, I will see you guys next time. See ya.